All right.
Can I promote Yeti or no?
I mean, are you sponsored by Eddie?
Yeah.
You get sued for copyright.
Yeti, it's yours to discover.
Okay, I'm joined by Mr. Mason. How's it going, Mr. Mason?
Very good. You, buddy?
It's good. It's we survived another week. We had another awesome week here at St. David.
Yes, another week down.
And I love your shirt, by the way. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it says "My favorite people."
Call me Papa. I'm about to have a little daughter. My 9-year-old always calls me Papa. So
Well, congratulations, man. How much longer till she comes out?
She's at 32 weeks, so honestly, it could be any day. First time I'm actually experiencing the newborn thing.
Yeah.
So it's completely different. Very, very new for me, but I'm extremely stoked.
Well, I've worked with you a little while now, and I've never seen you happier. So that's very special.
Oh,
so
dude, thanks, man.
shout out to your favorite people. So.
Oh, Sophia, Sebastian, I love you. Rafaela, I love you too.
Okay, first question is, where'd you grow up? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I grew up in a little farm village down south near Midland, Ontario, which is near Barrie. Population like 900 people. It's a very small community. Like if you need to go to the nearest grocery store, like a 25-minute car ride. It's in the boonies, farm fields, forests. Very low key, peaceful, calm. Just Georgian Bay's right there, so water.
Did a lot of outdoorsy stuff as a kid, eh?
Yeah, my mom and I would always go spring fishing for rainbow trout or like ice fishing and just always being outdoors. Where my dad lives, when I was a kid, there's a lot more bush, but I was the type of kid where I'd be so far in the bush where my mom would call me for dinner.
Yeah.
And I'd come in like 10 minutes later because that's how far I'd be out, right? So just lots of outdoor stuff, lots of ATVing, fishing, just exploring.
True Northern Ontario living. And I see that with our students because like even today, you and I went out with Miss Wood's class.
Yeah.
We went out in the bush. And the whole time we're out there, I'm thinking to myself, this is incredible that our school has the opportunity to offer this to our children. Not only that, to have someone like you who's, well traversed in being outside and showing kids, the different things to look for. Like we were looking for chickadees, we were playing in the snow, we were climbing hills. It was really fun when you shook the tree and all the the snow came down.
Yeah.
So I think just like as far as our school goes, like there's not a lot of schools that offer that, and there's not always people that want to do that kind of stuff. So I think for us, especially here at David's, that's a really important thing that you're doing for our students.
Well, thanks, dude. Like I find it's so interesting how like in the classroom and in the gym, some people are the most comfortablest. Where me, out on the trails, and
That's your home.
We got 2 kilometers worth of trails, right? So if I can take a class out there, if I can take 2 classes out there, I mean, it is
that could be your whole day.
That could be my whole day, and I'd be happy, right? But my funnest time is actually when we go off trail. I like when we were walking up the trails this way, and I'm like, okay, kids, let's just go on a detour, a little bushwhack, and eventually we're gonna come back on. That's kind of like where I find is the most humblest, where it's just you see things that you don't normally see. So.
And you see things in our students, like how many kids you see back there become leaders.
Oh yeah.
How many kids you see want to build stuff or work together to make, I think we did Quincy's one year, they'll build the little teepee-like structures on the trees, and they work together.
Yeah, well I think it was 3, it was more than that because it was during, it was the year after COVID. Where the sense of community within the school, because we had to stay away from each other, was so lacking. So I did a whole like school-wide scavenger hunt.
I remember this.
And like you were given a riddle, and that riddle was one of the locations on the trail. So then you'd have to go and find something, and then that something would have another riddle. So if you did all 4 riddles, and it was just like go out there for a scavenger hunt for like an hour, see what your time is getting back. And I was awesome that I went with every single class. And it was just one of those things where that year the kids were so stoked because as a community being in the building, it was lacking. But out there, we could have that competition. We could have that just like, hey, we have to work together. And because we're outside, we kind of could be a little bit more free, if you know what I mean.
Dragon's Quest.
The Dragon's Quest.
That's
right.
what it was. It was the Dragon's Quest.
Awesome.
And I think you made gold ribbons that were like actually impossible to find. Like I don't think anyone really found them.
Yes. No. It was a couple of years back too, where I hid some golden ribbons from our one class that we would take out every Tuesday, and no one ever found them. But the trick was they really weren't there.
That's why we couldn't find them.
I know, it was great, but that's not the point. The point is they were out exploring, and as they were trying to look for this golden ribbon, they would come to me and say, "Hey, Mr. Mason, look at this anthill, or look at this nest up in the trees, or look at how this snow keeps rolling down this hill," right? So even though it was tricking them, the point wasn't to find the golden ribbon. The point was to go and explore and see what you find, right?
To be more assertive, to be more in touch with nature.
Yeah, and kids, if a golden ribbon is on the line, they might be a little bit more willing to push those boundaries.
Yeah, exactly.
And go that little bit out further, right?
So what other school has that? Like I always say this, everyone on staff offers something different, right? And that's definitely like one of your like key traits is you're very outdoorsy and you give these kids those kind of experiences. It's a shame that we don't have enough time to do more stuff like that, but like if we could, we would do stuff like that all day long.
Well, just like what you said, if you can offer something unique to students, that then it just brings more to your school, right? Like if you're playing a game that requires more cards in your hand, and everyone has this, if you and I have the same card, well, we can't give different stuff to those kids, right? But if you can offer more experiences, it just makes school so much more fun.
And you notice a difference, like it curbs behaviors, it relaxes kids. Like as I have ADHD, right? Like when I was growing up, like I would have loved for someone to bring me outside on a trail walk, you know what I mean? Like that would have just, I would feel myself come back to class, like especially with like gym, come back from gym and like I got to run around a bit. I grew up outdoorsy too, right? So like I know what you mean. Like that's perfect for these kids.
And it's the behavioral part where some students who in the classroom are labeled this and labeled that and labeled this, and they get out there and the leadership comes out, the communication with others, just the drive to want to push not only themselves but the people around them to continue to just discover new things out there. And then those kids, they come back, and I find those are the students who struggle in the class, especially with the whole structure and the sitting and all that, but then are awesome outside. Those are the kids that come up to me, and when they thank me for going outside, I can feel that they mean it. Like beyond.
That's very good. That's amazing.
Yeah, dude, it's awesome.
So what got you into education? What made you want to do all this?
So as a kid, like a lot of people know about me, I struggled academically. Reading, writing, math was a problem, and also just like the general boredom of school. Yeah. Right? It was...
Let's be honest. It was the 90s. It was pretty... Yeah. Chalkboard.
I was looking at the window going, can you just let me out there? Please let me out there. So because of that, because of my struggles, and I had a lot of teachers that, like when I look back at the teachers and the educators around me from like SK and JK all the way to grade 12, like two stand out on the good side of things. But on the side where it's like, I remember those teachers for more like negative things, for like always yelling at me, always disciplining me. Those people, I mean, I don't have enough fingers, right? And a lot of that was me. A lot of that was the structure. So when I got older and I was like, hey, what do I want to do with my life? Instead of stocking shelves, I wanted to give back, right? Yeah. And where I found that I always had a knack for younger kids, just easy to work with them, easy to also just get them excited for something, but then lead them on something, especially like my little cousins. So that's really where it started. And I have a cousin, Todd, who is a child and youth worker. Yeah. who was about 8 years older than me, and I looked up to him. So he like sat me down and told me what the job was, right? And like child and youth care practitioner, like you could work at group homes, you can work in the schools, you can work in all kinds of different settings. And when he said like you could be an EA, I'm like, well, the people, those educators that are on this side of the scale that I remember for being great to me, one of them was an EA, right? So I was looking at it and I had a conversation with my dad, like, I think I can make a difference to these kids, right? And that's just how I kind of started, right?
And those are the kind of people you want in the field.
Yeah, well, and then when I look at certain kids, like the kids that are natural rock stars, academically, in the class, those kids, yeah, I give them high fives, it's great and all, but my focus isn't on them. My focus is on those other students who kind of can burn out a teacher, can always having to be on them, always having to like just guide them through academic tasks. Those are the kids that are my bread and butter, right?
Yeah.
The kids that are spinning around in circles. It's like, dude, it's okay, let's go for a walk.
And that's just it. That's where we come in, right? And that's where we do such a good job. It's like we thrive on being able to help those kids that we can not only be of service to, but we can also relate to, that we can be not companions, but kind of be a guide and show them the way, and that they can do it. And because you know what, we were there, right? We stood in their shoes at one point. We were disruptive, dysregulated, all over the map. Where's your book? Where's your pencil?
I got no idea.
You came to class without a pencil? And I'm like, like I remember high school going to class, no books, nothing. I just a body, right? Just show up to the room, and it's like, what am I doing?
I made it. No, that's not good enough. Okay, sure.
So no, that's amazing.
Yeah, no.
This kind of ties in with that. So like, how was school for you growing up?
Oh, elementary
what was it
school.
like?
It's so funny because I graded graduation, right? I walked to the principal. I got the whole, I shook his hand. I did the whole, and I looked at him and I said, I'll never set foot in an elementary school again. I told that to my dad. I'm like, Dad, I'm never going back to elementary school ever again. And so I think that
we are.
I think that does say a lot for me. It was boredom. It was I'd rather be going outside. Like when I got to high school and my first job, I remember thinking like, I'd rather just go work in this minimum wage job. And then this just goes to the mentality back then, go to school. Because going to school it's challenging. It's difficult. I get made fun of. I get called names where nowadays we would be like, oh my God, we gotta bring all these people in because how dare you say those words to this other student, right?
That's a different time.
Very different time, very different.
I got bullied too.
Yeah, like not like, hey, they're bullying me. Like no, like they're actually bullying me every single day.
Right? Kids were nasty back in the day.
And I did speech and language therapy for like, I don't know, years upon years. So when I was a kid, especially a young kid, my stutter was really, really bad. So I used to go up to teachers like, hey, recess, like, hey, they're bullying me about my stutter, and they would tell me to walk away. Well, they also have feet; they can just follow me, right? So the everyone knew the kids who didn't know how to read, didn't know how to write. Everyone knew the kids who had this or had that. So it was very rough, right? Like not many good moments, not many good memories. High school was better, maturity hit. I was able to kind of have a different mentality going into it. I also could see the bigger picture, like, hey, I got to get a job here, right? I got to do something.
I'm not just here because I have to be. I'm here because if I don't do well, then it's going to impact me later on.
Yeah. And if I don't try, right? And also I feel like with my learning disability, maturity played a lot of factors. All of a sudden, I think those neurons in my brain was like, hey.
It clicked.
We're waking up now, right? And
time to grow up.
Not just grow up, but like, I can actually read that a lot easier. Like I honestly, dude, I think maturity, like hitting like 15, things just started to get like boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom. It's like if that could happen when I was like 7, it would have been much easier. But like that's just how it went. So school was very rough. High school was a lot better.
Same here. Like I was kind of labeled as like the kid that couldn't read.
Yeah.
And that really bothered me in elementary school. Like I felt and got obviously picked on because of it. And then after elementary, high school, I definitely like pulled up my socks too. And it came to that realization where it was like, okay, but kids were different back then. Like they were so mean about it.
And it's like it's not even a haha you can't read. It's like haha you blah 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 you can't blah 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 read. And it's like that really hurts my feelings. Like, it really hurts my feelings.
I think it's kind of good that I'm not saying that happened to us, but we can identify that and we can prevent that. You know what I mean? Like we support those kids, we empower them, we encourage them, and we encourage other kids to be helpful to those kids as well. And you see that a lot, much like the outdoors. They want to be leaders. They want to be helpers. And it's kind of cool in our school. We have a lot of kids that look out for a lot of other kids. Yeah. And they want to help. They see what we do. It's almost like they model us as EAs in a way. And it's interesting. It's like, oh, here, I'll help you do this. And I'm like,
when you can
it's interesting.
When you can lead with empathy too.
Yeah.
Like when you can literally put yourself into that kid who can't read, who's grade 3 but reading at a preschool level or kindergarten level, when you can put yourself into their shoes, I don't know, for me it works.
Yeah. And yeah, that's very noble. So last question I'm going to ask you here just before we finish. What are some of your hobbies? Because we know you're an outdoorsy guy. Yeah. So like, what do you like to do?
Well, because we're blessed at having our summers off, I love to golf, but most importantly, I love going canoeing. There's a quote up there says, let's see, in case I forget it here. Going the extra distance. It's never crowded, right?
So true.
Which I don't like going on a lake where I see cottages or I see there's, it's a crowded provincial park. I like going where my first campsite is 15-kilometer paddle with a bunch of portages. Because it brings me back to when I was a kid. Yeah. Because when you're a kid in a forest, everything seems so much bigger. Everything seems so much more vast. There's nobody around, right? So when I go canoeing, I really like going to the middle of nowhere, whether it's solo, whether it's with my son, whether it's with my wife or with my best buddy. But when I go for a solo trips especially, it's like that, I just recharge. It's so humbling because it's hard to get there. I got 110 pounds worth of gear. Sometimes I got a portage, a kilometer. It's heavy, you're worn out, you're getting eaten alive by bugs, and the fish aren't even biting. And you're looking at yourself going like, what are you doing? And you know that you have 7 more days of this.
But not all those who wander are lost, right?
No, that's just the thing.
You find yourself in the midst of nowhere, and it brings you back to an almost like primal sense of being. Yeah. It's like it's me and nature.
Yeah, and it gets to the point where I can relate it to so much in life, right? Like there's another quote up there that I love says, "Love many, trust few, but always paddle your own canoe."
I love that one.
Right, and at the end of the day, you can have the people that you love and trust around you when you go through something. But at the end of the day, this is my head. Yeah. That's your head. That's your experience. This is my experience. Sometimes we go through tragedy. We go through hardship. And you might have people around you to support you, but it's you that has to go through that, right? Some people around you might be going through something similar. Don't get me wrong. But that's your experience, right? So I find it's a beautiful canoe trip, tons of beauty in the misery, right? But it is hard, and it's only you there to get yourself through it, right? And
that's where you learn adversity. It's a metaphor for life.
It really is.
I think everything we learn in this life, we can learn from nature. And I think putting ourselves in nature, putting our students in nature helps them to learn also. Yeah. So it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's something that I can also bring in here. Like I've done a couple canoe
that's right.
Presentations. I've brought my gear in. I brought my canoe in. I there's a little hill just up there, and I had some of the grade 6 students portage like a 40-meter portage up the hill and down just to see what it's like. And it's the adversity, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you purposely put yourself in a position where you have to rely on yourself and your preparation and your planning and your physical physique, but your mental fortitude.
Mm-hmm.
And if you come out of that on the other side, I mean, if you can paddle your own canoe, you can do anything in life.
That's beautiful. That's something we need to just roll with.
Yeah.
If you can paddle your own canoe, you can handle life.
You can handle life if you can just paddle your own canoe.
It's just, before we end here, I just want to say it's a very mental thing, and it's also a very physical thing. I think it's just as much mental as it is physical, because you can be the strongest person in the world, but if you're not mentally ready for a trip like that, you're not in the right setting. So it takes a very special person to do something like that.
But even just in life too, right? Like you can have the finances, you can have the whatever it is that
looks good on paper.
It looks good on paper, but the cracks, if you really look, the cracks are just spewing life. Sorry, light, not life. And if you're not mentally strong, it's
it's like, Cookie brought in a speaker last year or the year before, but he said that you always meet two people when you meet someone: the person you see and the person you can't see.
Yeah.
Because the person you can see could be a facade, right? But everything up here is who we are, and you don't really know until you really get to know someone.
Yeah.
And it's just like our students, right? Like, we see them here every day, we help them every day, but we don't always know what's going on in their lives, right? We keep showing up to work, we keep being the best we can be for our kids, and that's honestly, I think that's what helps drive us to do what we do, because it feels good to make a difference in their life and be a good person to them and our school community.
Yeah, well, and the things that you do is fantastic, because people like us in this field, when we can relate to those kids that are struggling, it just that before we do anything, just the fact that I can relate to you, it lifts them up.
Yeah,
so
it's not just a job; it's kind of a calling.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty. Yeah. But it drives me to do this, and I think it drives you too. I know it drives you.
And having 2 kilometers worth of trails, it really helps.
All right. Well, thanks for joining me, Mason, and have a good weekend. It's Friday. We're out of here.
Peace.